Alright. We're all set now. I think. Bro. Alright. Yeah, everything's set. Get into it. Bum, bum, ba-dum, bum. Alright. So, yesterday was a very short stream. It was like only 40, 50 minutes long. And I kind of didn't do anything. I was like working on the script a little bit for the characters, like midstream, and like before stream I was working on it. Excuse me. Because I'm trying to figure out a way to write it out, because like in here it's a little bit easier. Like I know this is kind of all over the place, and like if you haven't used this before it doesn't make sense necessarily. But pretty much there's like branches of dialogue. So the speech is like what the character is saying, and then the response is like your responses to what the character is saying. And I'm trying to figure out a way to write that in like a document form. So then I have kind of the overall storyline as well as the character dialogue written out, and then I could just type it out and then just kind of like copy and paste the speech and response for each of the characters. And then I'm also going to have to work on the function of what each response does. For example, this excuse me, sorry, I had like this soda, kind of gassy, but this conversation event, this is number one. I think there's like 10, maybe more, um like events each character could have or whatever. And basically what I'm having event 1 do for all the characters is it like kind of ends the speech. For example, in this one, like if you say here for pizza and you say nah, then he'll say get out, and then it will just take you out of the dialogue that you're, or the conversation that you're having with them. So I want there to be other functions where like when you talk to Hoodrat, which is a different character that I have, that he lives in the sewers down here. Where is he? Right over here, right? When you talk to him, I want to make it so then there's an event where it's like you can't get a certain response from a different character. For example, the Little Patty, which is like a Burger food truck, and Tommy T, which is the pizza pit, you know how they're normally rivals. In this case, they're working together and they're laundering money, quote unquote. And basically, Hoodrat knows everything pretty much because he lives in the sewers, so he hears everything. He's around the city, and he's kind of like this jittery, kind of scared rat, pretty much. And you have to talk to him to be able to get the dialogue related to I know what you're up to, or I know about your scandal, related to both Little Patty and also to Tommy T. So basically, I want to make it so then there's a function where if you give him a certain response, then he gives you dialogue that lets you talk to the other characters and be like, I know what you're up to. Right now, it's kind of like the dialogue, like it's something that's unlockable. Right now, it's something that is just there, where it's like you could respond and then you could get that response. But I want to be able to make it so then you can't get that response until you talk to someone else that is in the loop, that is willing to give that information based off a certain response. So I haven't figured out how to do that, but the idea is there. The bigger idea is the whole storyline where it's kind of there, but it's not fully there. You know, I have 3 characters so far that I like am like, okay, these 2 work together. This guy kind of knows everything, but I don't have the everything of all the other characters pretty much. But there are other characters that I worked on in the last stream. The only thing I did was I made a conversation database for the other characters. I didn't put anything in there, but it's the idea that counts of having the other characters. In the writing, I'll show you the writing, so what I've been saying actually makes sense and it doesn't sound like I'm like losing my mind right now. This is all, it's like a story-based hood, quote-unquote, type game. And basically I started off kind of just freeballing it, you know, just kind of started making the towers, working on the quote-unquote park and the houses and the store, and then making a little animation for the ATM and stuff like that, being like, okay, so there's gonna be little quests that you could do. And then I added Tommy T, or this restaurant, because I was like kind of stuck on what to add, and someone said I should add a restaurant, so I added a restaurant, and it's the Pizza Pit. And then I was like, okay, after I do this, I'm gonna add Der Burger, because you know Pizza Pit and Der Burger always had this clash. And then I kind of started working on the dialogue for Tommy T on that, and I was like, what if they're working together secretly doing something they shouldn't be doing, and then there's someone who secretly, or maybe not secretly, knows about it all, or about everything that's going on in the city, but he's trying to hide because he's scared, but he's also kind of like this jittery type of creature anyway. So I don't even know where I was going with that, but yeah, I made this restaurant, and then that's where I added the character, and then it kind of went from there, where it's like, this game that I'm working on, it's not just a game where all the other games I've made, they've kind of been like, oh, I'm gonna make a 1v1 map, I'm gonna make a game that's already been made type of thing, where this is something where it's like, yes, the hood has already been made, but it's like I'm creating a story about a game that I am coming up with, you know, like I'm building the landscape of what the overall island looks like. But even though I was freeballing that, now it's like, wait, let me take a step back and actually create a story of what it all is, rather than just kind of spewing out random things and then just putting a name on it and then just releasing it and saying, try out the map, you know. Like, I want it to actually have a storyline. I want there to be things that actually happen. So in hindsight, right now, there's not a lot going on necessarily, you know. Like, you could talk to a few characters, you could break into the ATM and interact with that. The sewers don't work, you know. There's little function things where it's like, the main function of how I want the game to work is it's not there, but the idea of what I want it to overall be is kind of there. The other thing is like the graphics. I am using this daylight sequence to kind of make the map darker, but for quality reasons, I might have to change up some of the settings in here, because on like performance mode or on low graphics, it's very dark. So I'm gonna have to figure out a way to like even out the coloring, so then like in game it actually looks real, but also not dull, if that makes sense, you know. Like, I want it to have color, but not too much color. You know, I want it to look very realistic, kind of, but also not look like you're playing a very unsaturated game where it looks very boring, if that makes sense. So I'm trying to figure out a way for the coloring to look good. Like, I know it kind of looks good in UEFN, but in game, especially since I play on performance mode and low graphics normally, um, it looks very dark and very boring to me. So the coloring is something that I need to work on. And then also related to that, I want to add kind of like a day sequence where it's like there's a day and night type of thing. Right now I have it fixed to like more nighttime, and then I also want to add like rain and like power outages, stuff like that, where it's like it's very interactive, where you could go to the bank or something and try to rob it, quote unquote. There's the parking lot or the parking garage. You have to interact with the parking garage to get in and out, and you have to spend a certain amount of gold or something like that. Like, just having everything kind of interactable, so it's like it's something where you actually want to know about the storyline and actually play the game to know more about how to, like, sorry, kind of lost, to like kind of know more about the storyline, but also because it's like actually fun. But I don't know, it's like I have somewhat of the storyline, but not having the full storyline, it's hard to like kind of be like what I want it to be versus what it's going to be, especially since I said like I wanted to release this next week. um I'm not trying to say that's not going to happen, but with the fact that I added like 5 or 7 characters, like, it makes it more detailed, and right now it's looking very dull. So I have to figure out a way to kind of progress every day, where it's I'm not spending an hour or two kind of just not getting anything done, especially with the overall map. Like, it looks decent, but there's a lot more I want to add, but I don't know what that is. So I got to figure out a way to um, kind of progress faster in what I'm trying to do, especially with the storyline, I feel like, because right now I only have dialogue for 3 characters, and I have all these other characters that I haven't really worked on dialogue for. I have like kind of like who they are or what they do, but I don't have the full on dialogue. So in this stream, instead of uh shoving the character dialogue in everyone's faces and working on all the different characters I have right now, I'm gonna focus on the map instead. So I think the main thing is also the house area. Like, I don't know if I should have like a front yard, backyard type of thing, or just do like a front yard. That's the main thing too, is like the overall landscape of what the game looks like. That's something that I definitely need to work on. All right. So I'm gonna look for like a garage. All right, that's a start. Use this one because that one looks like the most realistic to the other ones that I've kind of been using. And I don't really like that look of that one, so I'm gonna find a different one to use. That one looks a little bit closer. Let's put garage door. It comes up with. I kind of like this one more. Could always kind of change what it looks like, at least the coloring of it. Yeah, we'll just use that one for now. Have to shrink it. Something like that. Alright. So should all the houses have a garage or not? I have to think about like a driveway too. And take this and drag it over here. And we also need like grass or dirt. There we go. Something like that would look good. I like that. We'll just start with that for now. I think the dirt looks good. I Alright. Okay, so there is like gate. Not all of them have, some of them. Let's look up gate. That's too fancy. Wait, it's actually cool. Ooh, that's good too, like the scrap metal. There has to be some other ones that are smaller, but I don't know like what they would be called. Like from Junk Junction. Maybe I just look up junk. Maybe it'll come up with something. There we go. Something like that. There like other one that doesn't have barbed wire? Fence? Maybe that's what I should look up. Fence. This is good though. I'm liking the selection. Sidewalk. Bro, why did I do that? Wait, what the heck? Where did it just go? Oh, there we go. Something like that. Looks nice and rugged. Alright, bro. Boom. This is more for the city, so I'm gonna put that over there. Okay, this is actually perfect. Alright, and then we could add the tires. Ooh, beware of dog. That's good, that's good. This is for the car thingy. The what do you call it? Mechanic? That's what I'm that was the word I was looking for. We'll use that for the mechanic shop. Perfect. That wall right there too. Will be the thingy for it. The only thing I don't like about this sky thing is that, like in game, or not in game, like in UEFN, it makes it harder to see everything. So like there has to be a way to like disable the the device for now or something. There we go. See, now it's so much brighter and I could actually see everything. Look how much the lighting changes everything. It's actually crazy. Wow. My eyes are being blessed right now. Alright, we'll have the mechanic shop like over here. Excuse me. Not exactly what I'm looking for. Um, get off. Something like that. I'll actually make it bigger. Something like that. I think that looks pretty good. Undo. I think that looks decent. Maybe just squeeze it. Oop, that doesn't look good. Maybe just keep it how it was. Yeah, wait, no, I don't think that's how that was. Control Z, Control Y, Control Z, no, Control Y. There you go. You just move it over a tiny bit. Oh, I forgot it's on the Fortnite girder now. There we go. Yeah. Alright, now we gotta like, there we go. No, why the heck did this street get attached to this, bro? What the heck is this game doing? Oh my god. There we go. I think it's fixed. Is that a crack or not? I'm like actually, there's no crack, I don't think. When I'm saying crack, I'm talking about like a crevice, not a, yeah. Does that look off? Can't even tell, bro. I can't tell. I'm tripping. I mean, what is that? Which wall is that? I can't tell if that's like this wall. I think it is. I think that's fine. Alright. I forgot the Fortnite grid is not on. There we go. Do, do, do. I like the junk yard flooring. And then right there, we'll have like the office room or something. Use this top instead. I totally forgot about changing the description. That doesn't make sense, like making another folder. Wait, where did the block go that I was gonna place? Chats. Over here quick. Holy moly, how many things are attached to this? See, I knew some other stuff was still attached. Okay, we're chilling for that, but I'm gonna put this over here for now, and then make this. We'll just name it Car Shop for now. Car Shop. And we'll take this folder and move it. Boom. Here we go. I need to remember when I first start building something to add it to a folder, so then I'm not making it harder on myself at the end, because now I have to click on all of this, add it. Not that bad, but so like where is all this stuff located? Oh, oops. Move to car shop. Why is there two things for car shop? What is that? Alright. Now add this. This is really in there. Nice. Alright. The only thing that's not in there then are these floors right here. Alright. So where is this stuff located? I'm glad I started making folders for things. Holy moly, dude, this would be a pain in the butthole to like look through all of this stuff to find where the other things are shop. Dude, what the heck? Is there like a thing for folders? Like I just see the folders. There you go. There is, but there isn't. Car shop, business shop. I'm gonna have to add all this stuff to something too. Oh, the sewer. Dude, I totally forgot about that. Brick. Damn. Okay, now we're gonna have to do brick sample underscore a for a underscore. Nice. So almost everything that I've been working on is somehow attached to the sewer. That's great. Definitely makes it easier to deal with everything else. I honestly think it's faster to just click off everything over here. Not even there. Real quick. Why is there just random blocks? What the heck? feel like maybe I should have just started doing the sewer. Just a quick little scan. Alright, so this is the only thing else. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom. Boom, 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 boom. Alright, that's everything, right? No houses, just the actual sewer down here. Alright. We're gonna create a folder. I'm gonna name it. Oh, I guess it's part of the folder now. I'm gonna rename it sewer. Dude, like, that's actually nice, but let me add this. Yes. Wait, how come the park didn't have that? Or the skate park? I meant folder, like, the way to go through this. Wait, how do you even do that? Maybe I should have done that for everything else instead of creating a folder. I don't even know what this is. Actor? How do you do that though? Is it grouping? Not grouping. Pivot, attach to, actor. What is this thing called? Has to be some way to do it. Snap. Validate attack. No. I think the closest thing is group, but when you group it, whenever you move it, it all moves together. Where with this, it's literally just what it's called, and then under it is everything that's in it. I mean, it's the same idea as the folder, but I think you're on it, you could just move it if you want to. Yeah. See, like with the folder, you can't do that, so I gotta figure out how to do that. That would make this whole thing so much easier. This actually got me thinking. Fortnite player set, is that what's block? Fortnite playset. Excuse me. Not a way to make it. I'll do it off stream because right now I don't want to like go down a rabbit hole. So, but it's interesting to know that like the gas station is its own thing where it's like if you just click on this, you can move the whole thing. Then you could go into individual parts. Like I know the folder is similar, but like when I go like this on the folder, it doesn't let you move the asset. You only could move individual parts, or you could go into the folder and then like start clicking on the stuff that's in it. Not like that. There has to be some way to make it so then could put it into whatever the heck this little marble playset thing is, and then it's the same thing as a folder, except when you just click on it, you could just grab everything. I need to figure out if that's possible, or if it's literally only if you grab Fortnite assets and put them in that you're able to do that. I find kind of dumb. But I need to write that down. Fortnite playset, I think it was. Just look up gas station. Fortnite playset. I write that down. Fortnite playset. All right, and then we'll go back to that after stream. All right. Ooh, that's a lot of assets to save. Alright, so now we gotta do that for all these other houses. I did not mean to grab that. Bum 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 bum. Alright. That does look weird, but trust the process. I think this is where the sidewalk should come in. Oh, did not mean to do that. I don't like that. I like the block like half. There you go. Let's rotate this. Not like half a block though. Even that one, it's like, wait, that was actually good. Wait, hold up. There we go. Alright, we'll just place that down for now. Is it overlapping the floor or no? Yeah, it is. Okay, hold up. Let me just lift this up then. Hmm. Probably gonna have to use a different asset, but for now I think this is better than what we had before, so we're just gonna go with it for now. Have dirt here. Because each house should have like its own unique thing where it's like one has a fence, one doesn't, one has a garage, one doesn't, one has a front yard, one doesn't have a front yard, one has a backyard and a front yard, you know, like, or maybe they don't. But for now, I think there definitely needs to be a house right here. But I think that looks a little bit better. The only thing I need to add is this fence. I don't like that fence. This one looks a little bit too crazy. This one looks believable. So let me look up fence. Fence. Those seem too big. Oop. I don't want to have to deal with all that. So. What was the other one? I think the other one didn't have a spike to. Okay. Only thing I don't like about the gates is like how like you have to click in a certain spot for it to like be visible. Hello. Welcome to the stream. What is going on? There we go. It snowed last night. Nice. Isn't there a fence with like a door? Not like a full, I don't want like a full fence. That's the thing I'm trying to look for. There we go. Your eye hurts. Alright. That doesn't sound fun at all. Duh, 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 duh. Alright. Should just block him. Alright. Be around this house. Maybe this house will have a garage. We'll have a garage for this one. What the heck? Or 1, 1, 1. Here we go. Perfect. Put that there for now. I totally forgot we have this one right. And is it? I didn't think about that. Maybe it should be just part of the roof. Or actually, oh, maybe that's what it is. Just putting the assets into the other assets. Up behind that. Is that it? Okay, and then we're gonna add a door over here. Rotate it. Then we'll make that same thing. It looks decent. There we go. Maybe I should have kept it brick. No, I think it should be it should be the same as the inside. That looks nice. Alright, and then we'll get rid of the sidewalk right here. And just make like a dirt path onto the street. Something like that. That looks decent. Maybe we'll just take this and oh, it's yeah, I'm fine. Something like that looks good. And oh, wrong thing. To copy it. Something like that. But move it a little bit closer. Boom. I think that looks good. You're really cold. Like the end of a sidewalk, or like how would you make a pavement? I think that's fine. We'll just keep it like that for now. Heater went out. Sucks. Said maybe no backyard. So if this house was bigger, so we'll have it have a backyard. Um, we do like side yard too. Yeah. I think it's yeah, we'll have that too. Alright, and then we'll have a gate for car. Does that look good, or should I do like another fence? I think that's fine. Where did the gate thing go? Oh, it's right here. I was tripping. Right, so have this here. I want to like change the color of it, but I don't think I can. So we'll just have this here for now, and then make it a little bit smaller, I guess. That looks pretty good. Alright. Wait, I just realized instead of like adding other ones, I could just do this. And that doesn't look weird. I'll just do that for this one too. Maybe that does look weird. Actually, I kind of like that better. Because this looks like kind of realistic. And then this one kind of looks like all jagged and all that. It kind of looks a little, I feel like this looks more realistic than this, to be honest. It, it looks too perfect almost. And we could always change what is it called? What the sidewalk actually looks like. Change which asset I'm using for the sidewalk. This is kind of just like the starting off one. I think the S stands for streaks. I never understood the point of Snapchat really. The only reason why I still have it is like when I was posting content, but I haven't posted any content in a while on there because I just wasn't really seeing anything from doing it. I heard it pays well if you like get monetized on it or whatever, but I never got monetized, and I was posting all the time, and it's like the same thing as Instagram almost. I like Instagram better. Because Snapchat, it's like it feels like you have to post all the time, and then Instagram, it's like you don't really have to. Like all the influencers, like they'll post like 20 or 40 pictures or videos every day, and it's like, why would you want to do that? Like I get it, like they're influencers and that's their job, but it's like it seems so taxing. Yeah, I've seen you've been going live a little bit. I've seen people do like the streams with other people and stuff. Like, I've wanted to kind of do one, but I kind of don't at the same time. There we go. Looks a little bit better. Yeah, I understand the concept. I think that looks decent. Oh, wait, no, I should have done that. There we go. Alright. I've been streaming for an hour and 40 minutes. I think I'm gonna call it for this stream. Or actually, before I end the stream, I'll just make sure all this stuff is connected. FNEC underscore Beeb. Sure all of that is connected. Alright. Nothing else above. Yes, okay, perfect. Alright, move. I don't see a move to thing. Force load, blah blah blah. Is that why? There we go, okay. Move to sewer. Perfect. Now all of it is connected. Gotta make sure that is connected. That is connected. Alright. Boom. Gonna make sure everything else. Where the heck is the... Like, is it all in there? Yeah, I knew this stuff wasn't in assets, bro. Dude, close this. Where's the... I thought the parking garage stuff was all in a folder. I can't find this stuff. There's so much assets in it. Okay, there we go. Okay, move to... Where's the sewer? Sewer. Actually find it. I think that's everything. It should be everything. Alright. Now that we added some more stuff, I think we could call it for now. Actually, let me just move this lamppost this way and add wire. Perfect. Actually, I don't need that. That doesn't look realistic. This one does though. All right, where's the other? Or maybe in the devices. Wire? No. In gameplay? No, it wouldn't be in gameplay. Audio. Grind rail. There we go. This is what I was looking for. Can't even click on it, it's so small. Can't even click on it, it's so small. Allow sprinting, standard, small scale. Disable collision, start grinding from walking, and grind on disable. Blah 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 blah. Okay, let me make it longer. Is there a way to make it longer, or do I have to like make another one or something? How does this work? Oh, okay, there we go. I think that looks good. Is my friend and my crush. Damn. Have a good day. Have a good day as well. That's how I'm gonna end the stream. Just the grind rail, I guess. Be part of the power line thingy. Um, Lower it a little bit. Try to make it look realistic. Does that look good or not? I think that looks good. Wait, oopsie. I think that looks good. Oh, wait, no, that definitely does not look good. To bring it down more. Dude, I'm like trying to figure out a place where I actually. You know what? That's fine for now. Alright. Save everything. Call it a day for now. I probably will like work more on the script or something today, but I could do that off stream. I think for now that's that's fine. Alright. Thank y'all to everyone who tuned in to the stream today. See y'all tomorrow.